It's my privilege to speak to you today. I'm going to talk to you about myself, but maybe we'll finish up talking a little bit about yourself as well. Well, here I am laying near the footpath, just close to my home, with a totally smashed ankle. It happened in a second. Gravel and small hard seed pods did me in. And in a second, my life changed. And all my plans for the next 3 months were out the window. Soon that day I was in hospital with my dear wife at my side, facing the fact that I'd have to rethink my future. One of the things which dominated me over these past years has been the news. I listen to it 3 times a day, both local and international via the BBC, and it was becoming like as though I was somehow deciding the news. I just didn't hear about all of these things happening overseas, war and pestilence and disease and starvation and everything. It was like as though they were physically on my shoulders, kind of dominating me. Well, one thing happened, I reckon within the first hour of me breaking my ankle. I realized I could no longer go on bearing this load. And so I used my telepathic environment and sent a message to Obama and Putin and told them that I was going to have to leave them to manage the world without me. And you look at this picture, you see they both look a little bit worried. I think they've just got the message. Stan is not on the team. My team was a bit different. Here we have Joan and June and Jean. They were my team. They were there the next day. I had many visitors, and some of my visitors, to cheer me up, cheered me down. Your bones will take longer to heal, and you can expect this kind of thing coming down the track pretty soon and to increase. Well, not everybody was like that. This family, when they visited me, said to me, "The universe is trying to tell you something, Stan." What? The universe is telling you something. What? Don't panic. There is something else, something new ahead. You're not running the world, but maybe there are some things in your own universe. Look at this. The kindergarten, they've been to visit me 3 times. And I've shared my life with them a little bit and my own personal teddy bear. And how encouraging and invigorating was that? And various young people have been there, and the staff from our center and the activities which are happening in our halls, and my friends who have discussed philosophy and theology. What a wonderful time we've had in this world which is immediate and right here at my doorstep. I've listened to the news once a day for 10 minutes only, but I'm not taking it on my shoulders like as though it's my responsibility. My responsibility is here, close at hand. Prior to this, I'd heard that 1 in 5 Kiwis have a handicap. A frightening statistic. But now I was experiencing it from the inside, because I had a handicap. Have you ever grumbled about those disabled car parks? I certainly have. car park totally full, and there's a couple of disabled car parks empty, and they're so big. Why do they have to be so big? I can tell you. I can tell you now that I'm wheelchair bound, what a welcome sight they are and how necessary it is to get out and have a full life. And what does a full life mean? I've been thinking about that subject. For many of us, maybe most of us, what would be the peak of a full life? What say we could go 5-star all the time, everywhere? 5-star dining, 5-star resorts, 5-star bedrooms, suites. Wouldn't that be living to the full? Since I've had a lot of time on my hands, I've been watching YouTube videos, and to my surprise, one of the major themes of the documentary videos is drug addiction. And drug addiction is something that cripples the poor, but it also affects the rich. And I realize that for many people, when finally they've got their 5-star everything, they're still looking for something else, and they start popping pills. And there's lots of people who do it. Very rich celebrities in your street, in your house, in every house. They become a kind of a crutch. Since I've been sitting up the back in church, I've been listening carefully to the sermons, and I hear people say we have to live to the glory of God. Well, what does that mean? Well, it depends what kind of God you're living to the glory of. Have a look at these people. These young men are willing to sacrifice their life. They say they're more willing to die than we are to live for the glory of God. They have guns and machetes, and they're going to kill, and they're going to be killed, all for the glory of God. The God that they see in their mind and their heart wants this of them. I was touched by this photo of the women holding their babies. It must seem very strange to them that their husbands just want to kill and burn and wreak havoc when all they want to do is to have safety for themselves and for their children and education and build a stable life. What about me? What does it mean to live for the glory of God? Well, I can only conceive God in terms of Jesus. Do you know, none of the pictures of Jesus that I've seen in churches, in cathedrals, in books and in films does anything for me. I think Jesus is like a spirit that's best represented, say, by this outstretched hand of welcome to people who have spoilt their lives, people who have done really stupid things, people like me, and maybe people like you. A hand of welcome, a hand to lift us up out of difficulties, a hand of encouragement, a hand of companionship. Now that's the way I see God in the universe. Now that doesn't mean to say that I'm glossing over all of the trouble and strife and pain and agony that's in the world, not for the slightest. I recognize as a Christian that God had to suffer because of our selfishness and stupidity. And the love that He extends to us is not some mamby-pamby love. It is love that's got guts. It's love that went to the cross and died for us. I was involved and died for me and keeps on coming back with that outstretched hand. Here's a picture of Jesus. Well, to me it is. The person who knows if they're religious or not, but the act is the Spirit of Jesus, and that's the Spirit of God, and that's what God wants us to do. I come to you. I admit freely that I've had a gift. The gift was the breaking of my ankle. The gift gave me 6 weeks to think about life and to really examine where I was going and what my goals might be from this point forward. But I'm asking you, what if today you had an opportunity to rethink what your life is? Not just what is dictated by your diary, but what your life could be. What if the end, your end at this present time, is really a beginning? Now, I don't know your life or your circumstances, but I'm sure that some of you have had very considerable problems. Some of you have had great difficulties, pain within you, around you, within your family. What if you looked at those things not as the end, but as a beginning, an opportunity to think again? What if your life is really not way beyond your control, but if it's really made up of the components of your community, your family, right at this time? I think we're all called to help each other, to help others of different points of view, different cultures, different races. And together, we're not Putin or Obama, but together in our cell, we can sweeten up the whole universe. In the Bible, it says that Jesus was in all and through all, from the beginning and for all time, and I believe that. I don't believe it in a religious sense, but I believe it in an actual sense that the love of God permeates the entire universe, and we can choose to connect to it or we can choose to disconnect to it. But the place where we connect to it is right where we are at this present time. This is the beginning of our search for ourselves and for the full life. The full life is not to be found in 5-star. It's not to be found in some chemical substance. It is to be found in loving and serving and connecting in the most exciting enterprise, which is being part of the very mind and heart of the universe, part of the healing, not part of the disease. My thoughts for today, maybe you can connect to them somewhere. God bless you.